Bored of playing Football Manager 2023 in the traditional way? Well, don't worry, I've got the Director of Football challenge ready for you. It's going to change how you play the game. Let's take a look. So, you're probably aware of what a Director of Football is in a football club. It basically splits the traditional role of manager in half. It gives you a head coach and a Director of Football. Now, the Director of Football is therefore responsible for managing all of the contracts and player recruitment, signing of players, re-signing of players, selling of players, whereas the head coach is responsible for everything on the training pitch and the football pitch, so anything that involves the game of football. That's managed by you, the head coach, whilst you delegate everything else to your Director of Football, who manages all of your signings and new contracts and everything like that. There's also the Technical Director, which is similar to the Director of Football, but does it for staff, where you can get them basically to sign all of your medical team, your physios, all those sort of things. But you probably want to leave your coaching staff up to you, because that is the core of your backroom staff, which allows you to manage all of the training. Right, so we're going to have a look in-game at what you can do to get this sort of challenge going. So we started with a club who have a Director of Football, the team I support, Blackburn Rovers. So this is our Director of Football right here. You can see him, his stats. The important stats are judging player potential and judging player ability, along with negotiating. And for a Technical Director, it's exactly the same, except it's judging staff ability and negotiating. So they're the two key staff roles that you want to look for when setting up this challenge. You want to make sure you've got a good Director of Football and a good Technical Director, or you could leave it up to the board and basically play with the hand you're dealt. Right, what do you do in order to get the Director of Football or the Technical Director to set things up and manage all of your transfers for you? So you need to head to the staff page, which we're already on, obviously, but then you need to go to staff responsibilities. So this is the overview page. This is what it looks like at the moment. Ignore what's set at the moment. This is just me messing around, seeing what does things. You can go onto a board page, which you can't change things. So this is all the stuff that the board handles. Just nice to know. Right, staff. Here is the key one. So you want, at the moment I'm going to leave the board to set the Director of Football and the Technical Director, but first team staff recruitment, I'm going to basically take control, I'm going to set to the recommended staff member here. So the Technical Director does things, the Director of Football does things, but I also want to manage the coaching staff, so I'm going to take control of this one here. So they're going to do this Chief Scout, the head of recruitment. I want to be in control of the coaching staff. There we go. The Technical Director can do everything else. For the under-21s and under-18s, I'm going to leave that all as the Technical Director and the Director of Football. That's their job. They can hire all of these members of staff in the backroom staff, can sort out all the coaching courses, everything like that. I just want to make sure that the coaching team, the core coaching team, is who I want. So you click confirm there. And then contracts, again, it's exactly the same thing. So you get the Director of Football contract and the Technical Director's contract sorted out by the chairperson. All of the other first team stuff, again, apart from the coaching staff contracts, I want to take control of those. The rest can be delegated. This is why you have these senior members of your backroom staff, your Technical Director and your Director of Football. Once again, whenever you change anything on a page, hit confirm at the bottom or it won't save. It's a little bit fiddly and annoying. Advice and reports, we don't need to touch any of that. We want to go to contracts, transfers and contracts. Basically here, this is where you normally do everything, but we're going to set that all to our recommended staff member, which is the Director of Football. Again, so that's all of the first finding and signing of players, all of the incoming offers for first team players, development loans, we don't want to take any of those, young players, all of the youth team recruitment, that can be handled by the head of youth development and Director of Football. Again, including the incoming offers, signing and finding of new players, all of those things. We'll cover contracts in a second, that's a separate tab, but we just want to go through here and make sure everything is set to recommended staff member. So basically it's delegating all of the contracts, all of the transfers to your Director of Football, your head of development, head of youth development, and your Technical Director. They're doing everything to do with contracts and signing of new players. There we go, player contracts, sorted, Director of Football. We don't need to care about office clubs because we won't be doing any of that. The Director of Football will be handling all of it. So this is what it currently looks like at the moment. So we've got the hiring of coaching staff is there. That's about the only thing that we're doing in staff responsibilities. We'll sort out scouting again in a second as well. If we look here, so we probably want to delegate all of this to the recommended staff. So that's going to be the Chief Scout and some performance stuff as well. But that's why they go. Training, you want to take control of all training. We need to do that. So So we need to make sure all first team training is handled by us, the manager, or the head coach as we are now. We need to make sure we confirm again. Youth team training, that can go to the under-21s and the under-18s manager. That's fine. Team selection, obviously, we'll handle that. We'll get selection advice from the assistant manager. That's fine. And that's it, I think. Match, again, we'll do all the matches. The backroom staff can arrange friendlies. That's fine. But I want to manage all of the matches. So this is what the overview pages look like. Although actually it looks like I haven't pressed confirm on the scouting responsibilities page. So we'll go back into that in a second. But everything else looks set up. So it's basically handing loads of responsibility to associated members of staff. We'll do this again. We'll delegate these to the chief scout and hit confirm. So there we go. That's the overview now. So basically, coaching staff contracts and hiring and firing coaching staff and handling anything on the pitch, either in a match or in training, tactics and everything, they're all on us. Everything else, the staff, they can handle it. It's going to make the game even more challenging, taking so much out of your hands. Give you a different experience playing Football Manager. So we'll have a look at the recruitment team once again. So we've got our director of football. We've got a loan manager in as well. We don't, loan managers do loans. So it's all people management and judging of player ability and player potential. But we've looked at the technical director. We've looked at the director of football. In game, there are probably a few directors that you want to look at as well. So who aren't currently at your club. So who are the best technical directors and directors of football in the game? You just search for these key attributes. So the judging player ability, judging player potential, judging staff ability if you've got a technical director, and negotiating, because that is a key one here. So here is Monchi, who is at Sevilla as the director of football. He is possibly the best director of football in the game. There's other ones as well. So the Barcelona director of football, Matteo Alemany, he's pretty good. There's the guy at Man City, the Dan Ashworth at Newcastle. These are some of the best directors of football in the game, and they're all there if you're going to try and steal them for your own club or manage the clubs who've got a good one. But basically, they're the attributes you need: judging player ability, judging player potential, and negotiating. That is what makes a good director of football. If you've tried the director of football challenge before, let us know in the comments down below and let us know how you've done it and how you've got on. And there's going to be some more great videos, including some retro databases that we've been looking at, coming up right now. Thanks for watching.